What's going on, everyone? Billy here, Lights, Camera, Action Figures. Got my good friend Mike here with me from Eternium Royalty. And today we're going to excite you with some news that you probably already heard about, but we wanted to throw our 2 cents into the pot. First of all, I would like to congratulate the Kickstarter, the Fall of Grayskull 2 getting funded. We're going to discuss that for a few minutes. And then from what I've heard, I didn't pull the video for this. I mean, you saw it as well. Val said that if that got funded, he would do PowerCon or bring PowerCon back, or what was his exact words? I should have pulled that clip up, but
he said that he's going to do a toy convention in 2026, but if Fall of Grayskull 2 was funded, he would do a MOTU convention in 2026. MOTU-centric convention.
Question. Do you think he already has something in the works with Mattel?
Oh, 100%. He wouldn't have said that if he didn't.
I don't think he would have said that without that. I proposed 100%. That to someone else, and they were like, they didn't disagree, but they also didn't show. I said, look, I don't believe the guy. He's a very intelligent individual. I don't think he would have come on and said that. Especially, I felt that was going to fund Fall of Grayskull 2. I was surprised it didn't do as much as the last one that wasn't successful. But there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff changed since the last one launched.
Yeah, I think times got a little bit tougher for people. So being able to donate money got a little bit tighter than typical. But hey, they made it. It was down to the wire. Mega J, they had that 12-hour telethon in a sense with Daniel and the cast, and then they were still, they were about a little under 10,000 short with 24 hours, and Mega J and what's his name? I'm like blanking on his name.
Nick Dubes?
Nick was on there. The Wanderer. I want to say it was like John, or I'm like totally blanking on his name. I feel bad. Apologize.
It's all good. It's all good.
But I ended up joining on there. Johnny Bilson, who played Triclops in the original, and he's gonna probably play some pretty sweet characters. I think we're looking at a Horde character. I won't spoil it, but he hopped on there, and we went for another good 6-7 hours.
So you put in some time on that.
Yeah, I was on there for about 3 of the 6, so I didn't do the whole thing. I got to limit myself.
Yeah, you couldn't run the whole gauntlet.
We made it. I was stoked. We're gonna get that PowerCon. Looking forward to just all the cool rewards for those that did. I think it was 130 or something like that, or there was different ones because you could get just Brian Cage as He-Man in Origins form. It was a kit by Bujubu, I believe his name is. Customs MX or something like that, I want to say his name is. He did a bunch of... He's going to do the movie cast parts as a kit.
It's like you kit bash. You can...
So you can make Brian Cage... it'll be his face on a He-Man Origins body.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then, of course, the armor. You know how it has that, more square look to it in the movie? It'll be like that. So, yeah.
Do you think that with the official movie, coming, that some people may have backed off of this as well? That may have been a turning point.
That definitely could have been a factor. This will be very different than the Hollywood movie. I can tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen pictures of the Hollywood movie. Yeah. Not dude, what are you doing? But
I'm sure some people funded it in the fact that they thought we wouldn't get a MOTU movie, and now that we are, and it's big budget, that they're like, they don't need the fan film as much anymore.
Correct. I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure it wasn't. I'm looking at it. We have it now. We're going to pull it up here in a second, but I don't think it was $100,000 difference in the amount of people, but they did drop off significantly. But he did, the goal was hit, and you brought up a good point. It's still live. So if you didn't get a chance to back, you can still back the project.
Yes.
So
late pledging is that was genius by Danny to allow late pledging. So you can still go on today and pledge. Every dollar helps. There are still goals they're trying to hit. If we hit 75,000 on that movie, there'll be more characters allowed to be introduced. I believe Castaspella and Frosta are the next characters to be introduced if we hit 75,000. They already have the actresses and everything. They just want to be able to pay them and stuff.
And be able to get them in the film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's right now it's at 63,837 of the 59.
That's great. I mean, it was at a little over 60 when it funded. So we've already got it, just in the past couple days of it.
Another
after being funded, got a couple grand.
Yeah. So that definitely, that's happening. And and folks, just so you know, if you backed something else like you and I did, I won't name what it is, but it didn't, I haven't received anything. I know you haven't.
I've gotten about 70 updates.
Or about 7,500 updates. And all due respect, I mean, I'm getting off track here, but when you back a Kickstarter, that's just what you do. When you back a Kickstarter, you're taking a chance, and it's all in small print there, big print, whatever it's there. But when you have someone who's done projects prior to, and this is the layout, so what's going to happen, and then you see other projects happening while that project's being just continuing to fall to the wayside.
It got kind of put to the side for a while, which I'm as long as it happens, I'm gonna just accept it. It's definitely it's been a few years.
You don't have much of a choice at this point, though.
Yeah, very true. Very
true. And then all the extras we paid for as well. I know you and I both did some significant extras as far as tier level stuff. So
right.
I haven't, there's nothing on any of that. I don't know.
But I was also supposed to do a part of my own, and I didn't.
You didn't do that part?
No,
I did. I did it, but I didn't like doing that. I didn't like the way it was. I thought it was going to be like interview, through how we're doing right now.
Correct.
But anyway, I have a feeling that this will obviously it's in good hands to be taken care of. Which I thought the other one. I still think it's in good hands. I just don't know what they're doing. But
right.
I think this is for sure.
Say also at that time, I thought PowerCon was still going to be happening in LA, and they were all going to be coming here, and that all fell apart.
Yeah, you get your interview right there. Yeah.
There was a lot of things that kind of went, wonky for that. So
now is PowerCon is Val saying back in Anaheim?
So they haven't mentioned a location, which worries me. I would imagine if he's making a deal with Mattel, it's going to be back in California.
Back in California. Yeah. But I would agree with that.
If it's in Ohio, I might have to take my first trip ever to Ohio because, no matter where a He-Man convention is in the United States, I got to go.
I'm having one on the East Coast. You going to come, man?
You're having one?
Yeah, I'm just going to open everything I own. I'm just going to open it all, man. It's
at your house. Let's roll.
So, all right. So you're willing to travel if it's MOTU centered around. Okay.
Once I heard it wasn't when it moved to Ohio, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's just going to be basically a toy show," and it wasn't MOTU centered, I didn't want to make that trip.
Yeah. I was supposed to. It was just too far. I'm not flying. It was too far of a drive. Charlie 5.5 was going to fly in, stay the night, and then we were going to split the drive up. But, man, it's just 12 hours, 14 hours. Man, it's just a long way. Depending on where we went out of, so it was just too much of a drive. But we did, him and I did Joe Fest last year. That was great. That was a good time. Yeah. So, but anyway, so we got the news from you know, if this hit that PowerCon would make a comeback. So we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I'm pretty sure if Val says it on camera, it's not something to take lightly. I think you could take that to the bank, as they would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like he had something already going
Already in the mix.
in the
Yeah.
back, where
And
he
giving
was
you a
like,
little
"Hey,
more incentive to back this, you know,
yes,
hey, get
correct."
this going. So with all that good news, I'm going to go to the news I don't like. And I'm sure some people are fine with it. Mike, I know you know, you're MOTU all day. But this is from Toy Habits, by the way. They have great information they put out. Two of the greatest people you can meet. That they work hard. They post constantly. You can follow them on Instagram.
They're on
They're-
top of it. They
oh.
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, man, they're laser focused on information. I mean, they pump it out. And I appreciate them for that. And I'll make sure I put a link below to their Instagram and to their website. If you're not following them, please do. But this first bullet point right here, MOTU Origins will focus on 2000X versions in 2026. All right. So for me, I can still buy 2000X stuff relatively cheap. I mean, in packaging. I'm talking on card. I don't mean like, you know, loose. Like, you know, you can get MOTU stuff from the 80s loose. A little more expensive carded.
Most 2000X $20 to $30, like a typical figure nowadays.
Yeah, and like I've got a Disco Skeletor, he's like $50-$40. You know. What else? I mean, if you do like was it Stactions? What was the name of them? Four Horsemen did. Stactions? They were like little statues, kind of.
Statues, yeah.
Yeah, those. You know, when they had the little mini 3-packs, like the, you know, stuff like that. But actual figures, you can buy all of that, in my opinion, like you just said, $30, $40, $20. You can get the ones with the DVD or the VHS tapes, like still stuck to the, you know, package.
Yep.
Yeah, man. You know, so this is a downer for me. I'm not interested in this. I will not be purchasing anything 2000X unless it's maybe a Disco Skeletor, just because how cool he looks. But
So I'm a little bit torn. We already got 2000X He-Man and Skeletor, so
they did. They're in
really
it. Yeah. The
all I
snakes.
cared about. However, I would love to see a few of the characters done in 2000X style and just beefier. Merman for one, but I think it's going to look very Lords of Power looking anyway, which is going to be kind of weird. Clawful. I don't know if you've seen, there's some 3D print sets of a 2000X Clawful already done. If you head over to Kenzo's Creations Instagram, he's got pictures of a Clawful. Literally looks just like the 2000X one, but in an origin style.
Right.
Now, will they be doing them that well? That's the question, because, I mean, if you look at this 4-pack that just came out, I mean, they're just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks kind of thing. So
yeah, that 4-pack, I don't like that either.
I got one. Yeah, I got one to
I
say
wouldn't
I
buy it.
have it, but
I don't want to be a downer here, man. I mean, you know, I'm happy for Mattel. I'm happy for all MOTU fans, He-Man, anybody, you know, likes all of it. And I love it. It's just becoming, it's like, let's just piece together whatever we've got and run the gauntlet.
I think that's one of the best things about MOTU is there's so many iterations now that there's something for everybody. Not everyone is going to love everything. If you do,
Absolutely.
great. But yeah, there's just, you know, some people didn't like the CGI, and I actually I thought that it was a very interesting take on MOTU, and some people are hating on this new movie, the Hollywood one, and, you know, I'm keeping high hopes.
Hating on it, I don't really, I don't have any interest in it. That's all.
And then, you know, things like this, like they're talking about 2000X for Origins, but then Mondo is also doing 2000X. So are you going to do Mondo, or are you going to do Origins, or are you not going to do either? Do you not like 2000X? There's people out there that don't really care for the 2000X just series, which is pretty crazy. But
we received, like you said, Skeletor and He-Man already in 2000X. You got the Snake Armor 2000X Skeletor and the He-Man. We got the 40th anniversary. I have somewhere the, He-Man again with the chrome or the vac metal weapons or whatever, chrome weapons.
Right.
I mean, we've seen the basic core of the, I know they want to go, obviously they've confirmed this. They're going to go, this is what they're heading towards. So we had Snake Man. Now we're going to do this. Can we just finish the few that we need?
I think that's the thing. It's so many people just want them to finish the vintage ones. Like, just give us Dragster. Just give us Too Bad. Give us, like the basics that we've been waiting for now 5 years.
I mean, 'cause laser power figures are Powers of Grayskull. They're on MOTU card backs though. They're on Masters of the Universe card backs. They're not on Power of Grayskull like the boxes for the Giants. But even then, I think they still say Masters of the Universe. So it's still part of the line. I don't know why we can't just get those. Are the two figures I really want the most. I'm just trying to get them and buy a few of them each, open a couple, put them around, everywhere, and then I'll still cherry pick something here and there. But to say here's where we're moving and this is the direction, it's like, man. And I know once you've tooled so many pieces at this point, you're not out anything because other than packaging and logistics, because all your molds and tooling are done. So I get it. Like that pack they just threw together with the whatever.
The 4-pack, yeah.
Yeah. Or, the guard and whatever they do with the head and the other head and all. Modulock or whatever that's supposed to be. But, yeah, that's not a big thing for me. Cartoon collection has surprisingly turned out to be really great. So it's interesting. That's going to keep going. That means we'll probably get some things maybe that we've never seen before because they're running out of core characters. They're having to get into some stuff they haven't made.
Chef Allen.
I mean, yeah, whatever. Take that. I'll take, some things.
I'd like to see Lizard Man. That'd be nice.
Yeah. I like to get another Granomir.
Yeah, definitely.
I know you can, there's red and green one from Classics, but I like to get something a little scaled. I don't know. I'd like to see something Origin scale, although he probably scales pretty well with Origins.
Yeah. I think the bigger he can be compared to Origins, so that makes more sense to keep him the same scale.
All right, we'll scratch that then. Or they could just re-release it. If they still have the
exactly
the buck or the mold. And then it says that they'll be doing Masterverse for the movie figures, so that would make sense. More collector line, which I don't know. We'll see how the movie goes.
I think it's a smart move. It'll look more like the actors.
Yeah, they'll come with little mailboxes and phone booths and stuff. I mean, you're on Earth, right? I mean, it's post office. But I don't know. We'll see how we'll have to see how the movie is before we knock it. I mean, you got to see it.
I'm wondering if now my question is will the toys come first? Like a lot of times when the movies, toys spoil movies. A lot of times
they drop first.
Oh, this person's in the movie because the toy came out first of it.
Well, there's 2 Instagram accounts that are posting constantly behind the scenes stuff, so I don't think you can miss but so much. They've all been the same scene. They're just running down the street
with me on a lot of them.
With you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the most I've seen is just Prince Adam running down the street with a sword and Tila in tow.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, it's a lot easier to get footage out in a public place as opposed to we saw the drone cameras flying over and you saw Grayskull's drawbridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
or at least we think it is.
I think it is. Yeah.
And then you see these giant warehouses or sound stages, and I was, I've been told that there's giant Eternia sets in there, and it's like, yeah, when you're inside a soundstage, it's going to be tough to get footage, and I'm sure there's a lot of green screen and things like that going on.
Oh, a lot of CGI type style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Look, it might be epic. It might be the greatest thing ever. But I think, didn't Queen Marlena say that Earth sucked? In some way, some form or another. Like, you didn't see her trying to hurt him come back. I mean, but anyway, the last point on this, they're saying there's going to be a big retail push next year in 2026. Includes selling MOTU at Entertainer, which I'm assuming is a store in the UK. So,
which again
retail,
makes sense.
Retail, though.
I mean, with the movie coming out,
I will say, does that mean does that encompass everything we just went over? So that they're basically, it's not going to be something new. It's just going to be everything we've seen. Yeah.
With the movie coming out, I mean, look at what was it, Kong versus Godzilla Empire or whatever it was, right?
Right.
They had so much product out, or the Transformers movie, so much product. I think that's what Mattel is trying to do, is bring Masters Universe along with that movie. They're trying to push it to the forefront. They're going to be pushing hard to get that movie to be a success. And that means putting product in stores, Targets, Walmart.
Yeah, you have to retail.
I don't know what Entertainer is in the UK, but I'm sure it's probably a big store.
Right. Like a Walmart type, or it's not Tesco, but like a Walmart or some type of anyway, if you know, please comment below and let us know, because I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But a retail push, I mean, naturally you have to, if it's a movie, I mean, you have to have toys in retail, because Mattel Creations ain't going to cut it, I don't think. Trying to release, a figure here and there, it could, but it's just, I think they're telling you we're going to be in retail. Yeah. So, I don't know, man. They're getting away from what I want as far as just finish the original line. I know there's some debate there. Yeah, I know there's some debate there whether or not a few characters are Power of Grayskull versus the original line, and here and there. But that's still, they gave us Hero, obviously. That was nice. Back metal looks good. Good looking figure. But let's just get it done, please. So I can.
Speaking of which, my Dispara is downstairs. I got to go pick it up from my front desk person.
Oh yeah,
Dispara was delivered.
Okay. Yeah, mine's it's on the way. I don't know where it is, but I got shipping notification last week sometime, or beginning of the week maybe. But another thing I'll get into real quick. We were talking about, you saying you were hoping for bigger bodies for the 2000X versions.
Yeah.
This right here, above my shoulder here, these bucks are smaller, slender. They're not as beefy. And there's been some talk that maybe they're prepping these for those 2000X slender,
those are still bigger than, they were very anime looking figures back in the 2002, where, that's even the Thundercats crossover, which, by the way, let's bring that thing down. Take a closer look.
It's just a fake picture, man.
Oh, it's just it's just superimposed there. Nice.
There you go. Yeah. Let me get it on the camera.
Yeah, so they are supposed to be slimmer than the cartoon collection a little bit.
Yeah, they're small. I mean, they're smaller. I'll bust one open and do a little review, and I'll post that up. But
there you go.
Yeah, I told you I wasn't buying any of these. I'm sure anybody who's been watching knows I said I wasn't buying none of this. And then somehow I just came in here and it was here. Don't know how it got here. Don't know how the other one got over here. There's another one. Much larger box. But, hey, they're here.
Santa in May.
Santa
Right?
in May. Yeah. Well, wow. Yeah, it was May. It's still May, but it was Santa May I. And he said, "You sure may." He said, "You sure may." And it's just like, boom, they were there. But anyway, that's the quick rundown, just a little rant. I asked Mike, come on, appreciate it, Mike.
Of course.
And I know we talked about doing something maybe once a week, just do a little catch up on what's going on.
I'm down.
Mike's always the positive one. Me, I'm more of the, unless it's something I really like. We didn't talk about Mumra from Mondo. That's we can say that for next week because it's a 30-day window on that pre-order for that. And
3-day or 30-day?
30.
Wow, that's not bad.
No, they're doing a whole month for that, which is good. They need to, instead of announcing it today and giving you 3 days to buy it, and then you're like, yeah, it's only $300.
I know, right? Let me just come up with that.
I mean, got it. Yeah, there's nothing to it. Yeah. So, anyway, man, anything else you want to add, Mike?
Not really. I think we covered everything, right? We talked about Follow Grayskull. Oh, I have one more thing, actually.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I recently picked up the Whitman comic.
Oh, very nice.
This is a completely unpublished, I believe, from Battle Ram blog. He says he believes it was from early 1982. Like, this is pre-Adam and pre-Filmation. Just to give you a quick synopsis, basically
Mini comic-esque, like all combined into one, or is it?
It's a completely different telling. He-Man is a shepherd boy that basically his village comes under attack by Skeletor. I don't want to spoil anything, but he ends up near death after the attack and gets saved by Man-at-Arms, taken, and it's very Captain America-esque, where he gets put in a machine and that, like, this magic comes through and helps him, and he becomes He-Man. And then there's a wizard kind of guy that gives him the harness, which gives him even more strength. And it originally was 30 pages. It was unfinished.
Mm-hmm.
There's a gentleman. His name is Nino.
Interesting.
I believe it's Ade, A-D-E, or Ade.
Ade, yeah.
It's Nino Ade.
Ade.
Could be.
Ade.
Yeah.
So he finished it off. Is that what he did?
He finished it off with 160 additional pages. So this is 200 pages now.
And where can you pick that up at?
So this was originally a Los Amigos convention exclusive,
right. Mm-hmm.
But due to high demand, he is accepting pre-orders again starting June 1st. June 1st through, I think, June 14th. So you got about 2 weeks to pre-order. It's a little pricey, but I mean, it's a labor of love, man. It's €45, or it might be $45. I think he might have put euro, though, but
yeah, it's going to be a small print run, I'm assuming, versus,
correct,
huge publishers.
I mean, it's made to. These are going to be made to order, basically, for the second round.
It looks nice.
So it's beautiful. It is all obviously black and white pencil, pen, but I mean, just to show you some of these, it's just really amazing work here. Oh, there you go. Here's some.
Yeah. Skeletor looks dope. So is that Mark Taylor's artwork in there, or is that pre?
Let me bring up his Instagram. I will tell it to you real quick here.
Mike, did you hear Mike? Did you hear me?
Oh, what was that?
Is there any Mark Taylor's art in there? Is that pre Mark Taylor? Is that somebody like whose artwork is it? Do you know?
The original artwork is done by. They did put his name, Adrian Gonzalez. And then the story, they don't even know who wrote the story. But there is a lovely tribute to Mark in there.
Nice.
in both the beginning and so Adrian Gonzalez was born 1937. He passed away in 1998. There's a little tribute to him in there.
Okay.
There's a they talk about the Whitman comic and kind of how it resurfaced. And then here's some more.
Does this change Roger Sweet and his story?
It doesn't really go into the whole. I mean,
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Like, well, whatever.
If you want to get into
that for another,
I could go for I can get into a whole
another video.
For that.
Yeah, give me the Instagram real quick of where you can go.
So his name is Nino Ade, right?
Ade Comics Art.
Comics, okay. Art. So
just
Nino _ Ade _
share that with me, and I'll make sure I post it in the description below so people can click on it and go right to his Instagram.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we have a conversation. All right, let's make sure we have a conversation on what that changes if that's pre-dating some other events at Mattel.
Yeah, for sure.
It's hypotheticals, and not to knock anybody. Hey, whatever. But it would be a nice conversation to have. So we'll do that. So appreciate everyone checking us out, listening. Make sure you go subscribe over to Mike's channel. SDCC is coming up soon. He will be there. I know that for sure.
Yes,
and then also he's got a great Instagram page. He shares a lot of stuff. He knows a lot of people. Obviously, he's got all the goodies.
If you're a MOTU fan, give me a follow for sure.
Even if you're not, he'll make you a MOTU fan.
I know, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. Look at him. I mean, he's wearing a card wax shirt. So, check him out on Instagram. Check him out on his YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me. I'm on Instagram. It's Thunder Punch He-Man, all one word. Can't miss me. I'm over there. And yeah, man, we'll come back on probably next Friday, probably. And
I think
Thursday,
next
Friday. We'll figure out when we're gonna do stuff, and we'll pop up and do something, and then probably post it for Saturday or for Sunday, people to watch at their leisure. So
sounds good.
Appreciate everyone, and we'll talk soon. You all take care.
See ya
later.